Hello everyone, Digfig here and welcome. In this Borderlands 3 video, we are going to be going over the October 17th, 2019 Hotfix patch notes. I'm going to save my opinion to the end. I've got some harsh words for this one. Not a big fan of some of these things. But anyways, we're just going to go right down the list here. Whole bunch of weapon buffs. Starting with Malwan, the Western gun has its damage increased by 25%, the ASMD damage is increased by 28%, and the Cutsman damage was reduced by 25%. Now moving on to TDR, the 10-gallon damage was increased by 8%. Now Vladov had the sickle reload speed increased by 25%, the phaser damage increased by 15%, the infinity damage increased by 40%, magnificent damage increased by 25%, Jericho damage increased by 40%, that's a huge one. Lucian's call accuracy and handling has been reduced, it doesn't say how much, so that kind of sucks. I would love to know, I'll have to bust that out and mess around with it. Lyuda critical damage bonus decreased by 30% and made a modification to address a reported bug that an extra bullet was spawned in the center. So this actually does 30% less critical damage now, and it does one whole bullet damage less. I think that's a good way to turn that. I don't know. By the way, that's what that does. The Torg weapons are the Tribalt damage increased by 25%, the Alchemist damage increased by 25%, Devil's Foursomes damage increased by 13%, and Flakker now consumes all magazine ammo when fired, and damage is reduced to 33%. GG that gun, just rip. Laser Splitter rocket projectile spawn interval increased by 0.4 seconds. For Jacob's weapons, Maggie damage increased by 35%, that's a good one. Hellwalker damage reduced by 8%, whatever. Hyperion weapons. Conference call damage increased by 15%. Crossroad accuracy reduced and it now fires 3 projectiles instead of 4. Butcher's accuracy reduced and the damage reduced by 25%. Doll Vanquisher damage increased by 20%. Children of the Vault weapons is Skeksis damage increased by 15%. Lineage damage increased by 20%. Pain is powered damage increased by 25%. Atlas guns is Ruby's Wrath damage increased by 10%. I think some of those need some more. Now, grenades. These are kind of have me kind of triggered here, but whatever. Hex and Firestorm were calibrated wrong grenade modifiers. They basically explain a blah blah of why they were like, oh, we messed up the grenades. It's a really long excuse. But in short, the Hunter Seeker grenade increases damage by 25%. Hex damage grenade reduced by 70%. And duration reduced to 3 seconds. Firestorm damage reduced by 70%. They took the 2 most favorited grenades and they reduced them by 70%. They're now probably going to be useless in my opinion. But again, I said we're just going to go over these things and then I'll start talking about it. They made Elemental Projector, the artifact that everyone likes to use. Max roll on it now will be reduced to 90%. So they are basically halving that, even though supposedly it was only doing 113 max, even though it was accidentally listed at 183. I do not know how true those numbers are. Now, Vault Hunter adjustments. Iron Bear health increased by 50% was greatly needed. All pets health increased by 50%. I can think of some fun builds you can do with pets now, potentially. Digiclone health increased by 100%. It's definitely needed also. Addressed a bug with Salvador where grenades were giving lifesteal. Okay, good to know. And then there's a random assortment of bug fixes, nothing particularly worth mentioning that I have read here, just minor fixes. Now for my personal thoughts on this, I'm really starting to get triggered at like the ridiculous scope of changes they're doing here. Other games in the past have had a real big problem with this where they do massive meta shifts after people spend like hundreds of hours farming for things and getting a build min-maxed, and then they're just like, massive meta shifts, you're OP, fuck you, and they nerf it into the ground, and it really kills the player base, and it kills like, it's like, why am I even wasting my time doing this if by the time I get the next greatest thing, they're just gonna nerf it absolutely into the ground. They seem to, in all their patch notes, be like, we want diversity and build diversity, and we want people to be able to play whatever they want. And it's like, people can play whatever they want. And a lot of people choose not to play these overpowered builds. But even that being said, if you want everyone to be equal, you don't have to take away playstyles to make other playstyles viable. It's like, buff the guns, buff the gear, buff the stuff enough to make it an actual competitor with the stuff people are already having fun playing with. It's just my 2 cents, got me a little bit triggered of just these radical shifts and changes, like massive nerfs, like completely deleting playstyles with like the Flakker. The Cutsman nerf is pretty huge too, and also the grenade modifiers like the Hex and the Firestorm. People really do enjoy that playstyle. They don't just play it because it's OP. And now that playstyle seems to be completely off the table. Like, nope, you can't use that and it's not viable anymore. But anyways, guys, I got that off my chest. It's whatever. I'm still gonna enjoy this game. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still gonna make videos for everyone. So don't worry about me quitting it. Just kind of like a little, fuck you guys, because I'm kind of unhappy with the way they're doing that. But now I'm gonna go over some things that I think might become the new most overpowered guns in the game with these damages. I think the infinite pistol with that 40% damage increase might be something I'm definitely gonna have to look at. Jericho will never have enough proper ammo, maybe on a Moze, to be OP with that 40% buff. But I'm really interested in the Tribalt and the Alchemist. They already had to nerf the Alchemist once, and now they're buffing it again. Because it was kind of broken before, and it might be the new boss the leader again. And also the Maggie here with that 35% increase to damage might be a good revolver now. Because Mashers have always been pretty good, but now this one might be really, really good. As for the Vault Hunter adjustments, I think they were all needed. They didn't nerf anything here, and I definitely think everything they patched up here definitely needed to happen, and might even need more to happen to bring into line with some of the other builds. But anyways, guys, I'm starting to ramble. I'm starting to even forget what I've done and what I've talked about. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you all for the support. It's absolutely amazing. And if you like this video, check out all my other videos. They're kind of not like this one because this is a patch notes video. But if you like some of those, think about subscribing, liking, commenting, being an awesome member of the community, and watching all my videos front to back to help my analytics. And I will see you guys in the next video. Digfig out! I don't know why I'm dancing to crappy patch notes. Goodbye, guys.